Woo! It's another cold, windy day in Warrington in Cheshire. I am at Moto, and they're very kindly letting me take out another used bike from them. So let's have a look what I'm on today then. Look at it! It's only a Honda CBR 1000 Fireblade in orange and silver. In all honesty, Honda Fireblade. These speak for themselves, don't they? If you're into sports bikes, if you're into going fast, this is one of the bikes that's going to be on your wish list. It is what I would consider to be an obtainable sports bike. Even brand new back in the day, these bikes, they weren't that expensive. You'd put them alongside your ZX10s and your Suzuki Gixxer 1000s. It was kind of between those three, wasn't it, with what I like to call the bikes that everyone wanted when I first started riding. There was Ducatis as well, but they were astronomical prices compared to these. So let's have a look around the bike the usual way. I'll show you the bits I like, I'll show you the bits that I don't, and there's one big one, and you'll see more about that in the test ride, but let's have a look round. That truly is the sexy close-up, isn't it? Look how striking that silver and orange paintwork is. It's absolutely gorgeous. And it's even nicer up close and personal, I think. I don't know whether the camera will do it justice, because it really is a beautiful looking bike, this. This would be one of those bikes you would be the envy of everybody in the car park because the colours are striking. And it's a Fireblade. What's not to love? Now, with this bike, one thing I would like to draw your attention to is this rather obscene exhaust. Now, it is particularly small, but I think it suits the bike, and the sound is ridiculous. It really is a case of everyone will hear you coming from at least 4 miles away, I would bet. But it looks nice and it sounds amazing. So there you go. At the front we have got twin discs. I always mispronounce that. Is it Tokiko? Is it Tosio? Is it whatever it is? I'm not going to do it justice. I'll mispronounce it, but it's got twin disc brakes and they do stop it really, really well. The brakes on this are unbelievably sharp, as you would expect with any sports bike, really. It goes fast, but it stops very quickly as well. At the back, we haven't got matching brakes. It's a single disc and it's a Nissan. And again, for a sports bike, you would expect it to have good brakes, and they do work really well. I can confirm that with the little ride I've had already. Do really like the wheels on this as well. How nice do they look? You've got this on the back, so there is no seat. I'll have to ask actually inside if they do have the seat or if you've just got this on the back. So it might be that you're not taking anybody on the back, or not until you buy yourself another seat. It has got the crash bungs already on there, so you've got some at the back, and you have got the R&G bungs at the front on both sides as well, in the event that you are a bit silly and drop it. Adjustable levers at the front, which I'm a big fan of. Everyone's hands are different shapes and sizes, so the adjustables are always a bit easier, aren't they? Saves having to fit them yourself. Whoever's owned this previously has probably kept it as a summer thing because the paintwork is really good. There doesn't seem to be any blemishes or scratches or anything. It's just a really nice, well looked after bike, which for me would say it's not been out in the rain and the wet, because if you take something like this in the rain and the wet, you can easily you can end up on your arse, can't you? and there's no evidence to suggest this has caused anyone to end up on their arse because it's nice and clean. So we've just got the standard left hand side, we've just got your horn, your turn signals, we've got your high and low beam, we've got your hazard lights, and then we've got your flash at the front. On the right hand side, just your engine start, your engine cut off, and that is all you've got. Quite basic as far as the buttons go, and no heated grips, but you know, it's understandable really if you're only taking this bike out as a summer day plaything, or you're only using it in the nice weather, then you don't really need them. Albeit heated grips, I would say, are always a must if you're riding all year, and I love the Oxford ones. I've used them on quite a few bikes now, and I recommend them. Now, as far as our panel goes here, you've got a massive rev meter there, and then you've got your speedo, we've got a temperature gauge, we've got your total miles, which on this is just short of 12,500, and then we've got a clock, and yeah, that's it. It's quite basic, but it's a couple of years old. I believe it's a 2010. I'll let you know if that's wrong at the end, but I believe it is a 2010, so it is 13 years old, this bike, but you wouldn't believe it when you look at it because it is very, very, very nice. Don't know whether they'd be my choice as far as your stickers go at the side to protect the paintwork. They look a bit naff. I'd probably change them if that was me, but you know, that's what they've used. And I suppose because it's a transparent one, you can still see the paintwork underneath it, so you can still see that beautiful orange, but I don't like them. They're a bit naff for me. Personal thing. Here's the main thing that I don't like, and it's nothing to do with this bike. Let me point that out to you. The main thing for me that I have an issue with all sports bikes is nothing to do with the bike. It's to do with this. Unfortunately, I'm carrying a bit of extra weight, and that means when I sit on a bike like this, all my insides are pushed right up into my throat, which makes for not the best riding experience, but it is what it is. That's a me problem, not a bike problem. It's bearable for me to ride a sports bike for an hour or two. Anything more than that, I just struggle. And you'll see with the seating position for this, you are very much bent over the tank as well. I'll show you. Oh. Now, I can flat foot on both sides, just about, but you can see just sat up straight, that's how far away I am from the bars, so there's no possible way of me being able to straight back this bike, which means I've got to spend half my time like this, in the Superman position. Now, I don't mind it for a couple of hours or for playing on twisties. It's a comfortable bike as far as sports bikes go, but as far as something that I'd want to spend all day on, I don't know whether this would suit me personally. Again, it's just because of this. Once I lose a bit of this, I might have a completely different view on sports bikes. But for now, while I've got all this extra weight, it's just they're not my favourite. You can see with the pegs as well. The pegs, like on most sports bikes, are quite high. So when you're arched over like that, and yeah, it's all right for a bit. I know there'll be loads of people out there saying, "Oh no, you're wrong," and that's why I'm saying it's not a bike problem; it's a belly problem. But you know, that's why I'm on a diet. That's why my wife is feeding me salads all the time, so I can go out and enjoy these a little bit more. Because at the minute, it's a 2 hour max for me, and even then, I think 2 hours is probably pushing it. maybe an hour there with a bit of a rest and a back straighten, and then I can do an hour home, and that's me. Walk round done. Let's go and have a bit of a test ride on this bike. I can show you exactly how it feels, how I feel, and how it rides. I've had a little go of it already. I can confirm, you know, it does what it's supposed to. My only issue going back to it again is this thing here that I need to get rid of. But the bike itself is nice, so stay tuned for that. Now this is a proper sports bike. I am literally lay down over the tank. But my God, listen to that bloody noise. Now this takes me back to my old sporty days. God, I feel like I'm sat on the tank. Right, the noise on this is absolutely obscene. It is very, very wrist heavy. You are bent over it quite a lot, so you are putting quite a lot of weight onto your wrists. Quite a lot of weight, or in my case, a very lots of weight. But it will suit someone who is not a heavy fellow like me. You whippersnappers and you fitter older gentlemen will be fine, but this fat lad, while I'll have a lot of fun on it once I get going out of this traffic, it's not the most comfortable thing, I can say it, for a fat bloke. So far, I've got to say, other than the seating position, which doesn't suit my frame, but the actual ride of it, it goes through the gears exceptionally well. Just a very, very slight touch on your foot and it's changing gear, so that is really good. The throttle, it is the most sensitive throttle of any bike that I think I've ever tried. You literally only have to look at it and you're taking off. Barely touched it and I felt like it was going to start lifting up at the front. Some people may like that. For me personally, there's a time and a place for it, of course. A nice little national twisty road is always good for a bit of fun doing that. You literally barely touch this thing, barely touch it, and you can just feel the power. Who'd have thought it, eh? That a Honda 1000 Fireblade was fast. Shock. Breaking news right there. The Honda Fireblade is fast. Thunderpants, oh! Bikes like this, they are really wasted, aren't they, when you're just on like a 30 or 40 mile an hour road. You just feel like you're barely moving. They are made for so much more than just this type of riding. Back after my test ride, gotta say, it's loads of fun. The more you ride it, the better it feels. It's just same old problem with this belly. Can't do anything about it. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you've learned something about this bike. If you're looking at buying one of these, then you will not be disappointed, because they're absolutely mental. So much power, so quick. Hours and hours of fun if you've not got a big gut. Otherwise, about an hour, 2 hours. Anyway, I'm going to go in for a warm, because it's another miserable day in January in the UK. So I'm going getting a coffee. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more reviews on used bikes and new bikes, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and you can come back and keep coming back and tell your friends and share with everyone you know, because the more subscribers I get, the more bikes I'm going to get. Just standard, isn't it? These bike companies and the bike shops, they want somebody with loads of subscribers, otherwise they just don't. They won't entertain you. I'm fortunate enough that Into Moto behind me have been very kind, letting me take these bikes out. And for me to continue to do that, I want my channel to grow, so it all helps. So for new subscribers, thank you and welcome. And old ones that have stuck with me, thank you. I love you loads. Bring your friends. Anyway, thanks guys. Catch you on the next one.